Hi, this is Ian Banyard from Nature Connection World and Cotswold Natural Mindfulness. And today I'd like to share with you a short, simple and powerful natural mindfulness practice that you can all experience now through this virtual experience, but also the next time you find yourself in a natural space, either like this one, which is deep in a forest near where I live, or in your garden, or in a park, or even by an open window where you can look out and maybe see trees, where you can hear running water. Could be a rainy day, listening to the rain falling, looking up into the trees from a window, listening to the bird song, and maybe even having brought something in that you can touch. There's plenty of things around here, bits of old tree, leaves from last year that can not only touch but hear the sound of. All you'll need to join in with this practice, this exercise, this experience are your senses, and in particular your sense of sight, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, our auditory sense, what you're feeling, what you can feel with your hands, with your touch, with your skin, but also what you can feel deep down within you. So it's interesting how we have external senses, what we see, hear and touch on the outside of us, but we can also close our eyes or relax our vision and journey inwards and connect with our sense of insight, sight from within, and in the same way hear our thoughts. Some people can sense and hear thoughts in their head. They hear conversations. Sometimes they hear what I like to call my inner whisper, or they hear some sort of inner voice, maybe more of an intuitive voice rather than a intellectual or rational voice. I hear both. Sometimes I'm having conversations with myself that are very rational, logical. Sometimes I have quite intuitive, or I hear intuitive thoughts. And inner feelings. So those three senses that we are used to on the outside also are connected on the inside. We have we talk about insight, but we have in sound and we have in touch as well, inner feeling that we have. So in this exercise, I'll share with you now. It's just to help you connect with the nature around you, but also the nature within you. And I start on the outside. I start looking around, scanning with my eyes, just gently scanning and noticing what I can see. I can see lots of trees and lots of green around me. But when I gaze deeper into the landscape, I start to notice the light and shade on the trees and the textures and the different shades of green around me. There's a macro world to look at, a big picture world, but then there's also, very close to me now, a more micro world that I can zoom into, he says, making sure that, there we are, start to see the many minor details. There is so much to see around us. Ooh, let's get that back. So much to see around us. And in the same way as I've done with sight, I can do this with sound as well. I can actually hear calling in the background. You might have picked that up. There's people in this forest. Unfortunately not as close to me as they could be. So I can hear voices in the distance. I can hear a plane in the distance. But then if I listen closer, I can hear the water just to my left. If I just bring you over now, there's a lovely babbling brook here. It's a spring that's coming all the way down through this lush vegetation, coming down the hillside, winding its way, its journey back to the sea, and then to join the water cycle again. So there's the sound of water very close, and then I can hear it drifting off as it goes down the valley here. Notice the planes drifting away now. So as I see the landscape around me, I'm also aware of the soundscape around me as well. So as I'm aware of what I'm seeing, and I'm aware of what I'm hearing, I'll now incorporate another sense. Now aware of how this tree feels. So I can feel the contrast between the moss, soft moss, and then the rough bark as I move my hand further down. And in the same way as with my sense of sight, where I can sort of zoom in on detail with my eyes, I can also zoom in on detail with my hand, my fingers and my thumb, feel minor detail. And it's the same with sound. I can move my attention in the same way as I can move my attention from what I'm looking at, from one thing to the next, and seeing things from a distance and then seeing things up close. I can do the same with hearing, where I'm listening to the general soundscape, but then tuning in, funneling my hearing to just pick up individual sounds within the orchestra of the soundscape. Birdsong is a good way to do this. Listening to birdsong is a wonderful way to tune into individual birds. So rather than hearing all of the birdsong, just tuning into individual birds. Now as I look around, I can do the same with the treescape. Rather than see a mass of green and branches, try and pick out individual leaves or an individual branch mindfully, moving my attention from one to the next, to the next, to the next. This is a beautiful practice that by doing this with natural sounds, natural sights, and with picking up natural things as well, it helps me then when I move my attention inwards to insights, to the sound of thoughts, and to the feelings I feel within me, and then practicing moving my attention in the same way as I did in the outer world, moving my attention to individual thoughts and choosing, rather than to see or experience and hear overwhelming thought, lots and lots of thoughts rushing through my mind, using the same mindful practice to focus on individual thoughts, individual feelings, and sort of focusing in, filtering in to those inner thoughts, inner feelings, inner sounds, inner voices. And in doing that, learning to have some influence over them. Because when I choose where I put my visual attention, when I choose where I put what I'm listening to, and when I choose what I touch, I'm developing that inner muscle, that mind muscle, that being muscle of being able to choose the thoughts I relate to, that I let through, the feelings that I allow through, and the insights, the images, the pictures that I create in my mind. It gives me control of that. It gives me inner control of what I see in my mind's eye, what I hear in my mind's ear, and what I feel in my mind's feelings and emotions. So, that's just over a 10-minute little exercise I've shared with you, natural mindfulness exercise, another little virtual experience for you. If you like these, I'm posting a number of these now. What I'll do is I'll put links to individual ones at the ends of each of these videos. So if you like doing these, let me know. If you've got ideas for more nature connection, virtual practices, walks and experiences that you'd like me to do, or if you've got your own that you'd like me to see, please share those with me. You can get in touch with me. I'll put links again under this video or in the on my YouTube channel where you can get in touch with me. And I look forward to hearing from you, seeing you, and connecting. Take care now.